So guys, iPhone 13s are here. So this is everything you need to know about them in just 7 minutes. So let's start. Okay, so on face of it, again the iPhone 13 look pretty similar to the iPhone 12. They all look exactly same in shape and size as their equivalents last year. This is because Apple knows that the iPhone designs are so iconic, so they don't change it much often like Samsung or Xiaomi does. But this brings me to their color schemes on iPhone. We get 5 color option on the iPhone 13 and 13 mini with this new pink color this time. And for the Pro models, they have got the standard 4 colors with the new color this side are blue. And now for the bigger updates, it's the notch. The notch is smaller this time. Since the iPhone 10, the notch hasn't been budged, so now they did it. But they not completely removed it, instead they reduced its size by 20% thanks to the earpiece moved upward in the bezel. And with making no compromise with the camera quality or the Face ID. But this reveal surprised me. When they announced all the iPhone 13 base model comes with 128 gigs of storage, I was surprised, as previously they launched 64 gigs of storage for the base models, which was kind of insufficient in 2020 and which would be a headache in 2021, but they changed it, upgraded it to 128 gigs. And also the top version of the iPhone 13 Pro comes with 1 TB of storage, which is kind of super sufficient. And here comes another big update, the battery. So in this iPhone 13 series, the batteries are bigger, and they have announced that batteries have been a priority in the iPhone 13s, and it is looking like they are giving some buffer room to their customers, like both the iPhone 13 mini and 13 Pro are getting on an extra 1.5 hours of screen time, and both the 13 and the 13 Pro Max are getting an extra 2.5 hours of screen on time. And this year, for the first time, we have got the 120Hz display instead of every other iPhone until this point, which has 60Hz of refresh rates. The iPhone 13 and 13 Pro Max will have the 120Hz refresh rates, while it will be the biggest jump in the perceived speed that we ever had on an iPhone. But we get 120Hz panel only on the Pro models of the iPhone. It's quite obvious because of the battery life. Bigger battery equals to bigger sustainability, and smaller iPhones have smaller batteries, so that if we put an 120Hz display on it, the battery life will drain faster, and also they have to keep some Pro features for the Pro models. And here comes another big update, the A15 Bionic chip. Apple's announced that the chipset has 50% faster CPU and 30% faster GPU than the last year's A14 chipset. But don't actually know how fast is A15 than A14. And with this faster chipset, we get many interesting camera improvements, and the first one is the cinematic mode. So cinematic mode allows the new iPhones to shoot with shallow depth of fields and automatically adding elegant focus transition between the subjects, and also we have the option to change the focus or add the level of bokeh even after capturing the video. And yes, cinematic mode videos can be taken on all 3 cameras with Dolby Vision HDR enabled. And also for taking this high quality videos, the camera should also be upgraded. So thanks to the hardware upgrades in the cameras, all the 3 cameras are bigger, which means they can let in more light, and also with this wide aperture, and they have also managed to fit a macro lens inside an ultra wide camera too. Thanks to its redesigned lens and the powerful autofocus system, the ultra-wide camera can focus at just 2 cm, taking brilliant macro shots, and as cameras are bigger, they can let in more light, which means better low-light photos. And they have announced crazy numbers, like the wide camera can let in 2.2 times more light, with the ultra-wide camera letting 92% of more light, which means we can take low-light photos in ultra-wide too. And finally, the telephoto camera with the 3 times optical zoom and 6 times optical zoom across the system, still with the same quality of the photo. And finally, you might know that the last year's iPhone 12 could shoot photos in Pro RAW form. In this scenario, iPhone captures photos with all the details and a large amount of data, which helps in editing of the photo, due to which a single Pro RAW photo takes 8 times much storage than the normal one, but allowing you to keep all the information in your phone. Now, why I'm telling this to you? This is only because this year's iPhone 13 could shoot in ProRes video form, which is similar concept but for videos, and this might almost kill your storage, as the 10 minutes of this ProRes video takes about 100 gigs of storage, and that is why they are giving you an option for 1 terabyte of storage this year, as this video form can kill the base model of the iPhone 13, which has 128 gigs of storage. Alright, taking all this into the account, bearing in the mind that no one has actually tested these phones in person yet and no one knows how this new iPhone sit versus the competition, well, I think the iPhone 13 Pro and 13 Pro Max seem really competitive with the A15 Bionic chip, the 120Hz display, combined with Apple's optimization, all means that there's a good chance you're looking at a new fastest phone in the market. But at the same time, I think the iPhone 13 and 13 mini are a bit less competitive, as well as the expected material difference between the normal and the Pro iPhones. Not having the 120Hz display with the battery life is a huge deal for a flagship phone in 2022. So I would strongly recommend the Pro models over the 13 and 13 mini. So finally, we will review all the 4 phones here on this channel, so do subscribe for that. And if you did enjoy this video, consider subscribing. So my name is Sanket, this is Creative Innovative, and I will see you guys in the next one.